What's good, YouTube? JDaisy here with the JDaisy Gaming channel. Here on the, we'll call it the beta test, or the first test of a new series I'm thinking of implementing called the Sunday News, or something catchier than that. I haven't quite decided. Just kind of more of a podcast, really, than an actual gaming video of gaming news that has come out in the past week, or a little over a week, that just overlap in between weeks. Haven't quite decided if this is something I want to do all the time, so I'm expecting or hoping that you guys will leave some feedback for me to give me an idea whether this is something that you guys would like to see and like to have. The video in the background is just some stock footage I had left over. So let's just dive right into the week in news. These are stories I've gathered from across, different news feeds I have and different articles I read, and just general news that has come out in the industry that I think is worth passing on to you guys that might not have seen it, or just so it can be brought together on one big you're not supposed to say on the radio. I was in radio news in high school. You're not supposed to say but throughout the week. So let's see here. Watch Dogs 2 was announced this last week, and if you're anyone like me, you weren't very impressed by that. I played Watch Dogs, and yeah, it goes down in history as one of the top 2 worst games of all time in my books. For multiple reasons that we won't get into during this week. Witcher 3's final and last DLC came out. I haven't picked it up yet, so I can't give a proper review. But the second I pick it up, you be sure I'll get a review out to you. But Witcher 3's Blood and Wine, I believe is the name of it. It takes a very different look for Geralt. He is retiring, I believe the synopsis of it is retiring to a villa. It's much more colorful, much more bright, adds a whole new land to the game. Along with like a player home, and is just generally more colorful and different than what we're used to in the Witcher games, is from what I heard. Not really video games, but still something I have to mention. The Killing Joke, the next Warner Brothers Animated Studios movie. It was a 1980s, I believe, comic book that came out, Killing Joke. It depicted the backstory of the Joker and his battle with Batman. Is getting a theatrical release. If you didn't know, it's coming out here in July or August. I can't remember off the top of my head. I didn't write it down. I'm a bad radio host. Anywho, it comes out in July or August, and it was announced that it will be getting a one-day, 2-showing theater release on the big screens. And if you're anyone of a fan of the Warner Brothers Animated Studio and or Batman in general, you would be excited for this. It has Mark Hamill as the Joker, which is one of the main reasons I'm excited for it, along with I read the comic book, and it's always good to see that on the big screen. But Mark Hamill is the voice of the Joker, as he always should be. Rainbow Siege 6 and The Division have both announced this week that they will be banning people on first offenses of cheating. They have been notorious up till now of being lenient, I guess is the best way to put it, on people that have been expected of banning. So this week they announced that you will be banned on first offense if you were caught cheating. Their anti-cheat software must finally have been in place and is definitely kicking in. And from what I've seen, a lot of people more in The Division than really Rainbow Siege 6 are taking offense to it, because I haven't looked into it. I haven't really played The Division since probably about a month now, and Rainbow Siege 6 I dabble in very much, but they both have their own respective communities, and if you're a part of it, I'm sure you're already aware of the implications and all that good jazz of what this means. Injustice 2 was announced this week, kind of out of the blue. I didn't see it coming, and I don't think a lot of people saw it coming. With a trailer of the Batman and Superman and the Flash and Supergirl and Wonder Woman and Aquaman, I believe, are all 5 of them, fighting each other in like a weird arena type thing in the dark, and they were like in metal mech suits or something. It was very, very confusing, but I didn't know they were even working on Injustice 2, so that was a pleasant surprise for me to see that coming out. I enjoyed Injustice 2. It wasn't a very great game, but I enjoyed it. By great, I mean that it shouldn't be like a full price game, that kind of deal. But it'll be interesting to see where this one goes, but I've never been a big fan of the fighting genre. But it's still interesting to see what happens. Rumor was released this week that Bethesda is working on a new Wolfenstein and a new Evil Within. This was reported by PC Gamer website, I believe. Oh, and the Rainbow Siege 6 ban and the Division ban were brought to you by Polygon. I forgot to give credit where credit is due for people actually out there reporting and investigating this thing. But yes, rumors that Bethesda is working on Wolfenstein and a new Evil Within. These are, like I said 1,000 times already, rumors. So take them however you wish to take rumors. But they are working on it, and if that is true, we will see probably confirmation of that here pretty soon. I didn't, honestly, if we're being frank about it, I didn't even remember that Bethesda made Evil Within. So when I heard that, I had to take a step back and be like, oh yeah, that's what they make that one. So yeah, they're working on that. There was a new Battlefield 1 trailer this week. Not really anything major in it. Not like the first one where everyone, got their jimmies all up in a ruffle. This one was just kind of a lot shorter, a little more overview of the melee damage, melee, whatever you want to call it, combat. So that was kind of interesting to see. Very short, very sweet. Mafia 3 this week has just been blowing up my newsfeed. I mean, I can't go on there without seeing something about it. I believe it must be nearing the release date. Shuffling of papers. Mafia 3. I have a big spreadsheet on my desk. Mafia 3, April 26th. So it's right around the corner. I have a big spreadsheet of all the video games coming out for the next year. Yes, it's been getting a lot of traction, it seems. Their marketing department must be in full swing. And the only reason I say that is because they are having a special worldwide release of the new trailer coming up. I believe it's Sunday is the event, because they're being different, and kind of the big head story of this week is E3 is this next week. It's exciting. It starts Monday and it goes to Wednesday. And if you don't know what E3 is, why the hell are you listening to me? But E3 is a big gaming convention. It's the Comic-Con of gaming. That's a shitty analogy, but it works. People will understand it. E3 is where everyone announces what they've been working on and what will be coming out for the next year. It's kind of where a lot of people show off what they have, game consoles and all that. It's kind of become marketized from my personal view. I much rather would go to a PAX, but it's still E3. It's still where a lot of people will be announcing. And Mafia 3, bring it back to the original story, is announcing their trailer on Sunday before E3 starts. So that's interesting. They're kind of giving a middle finger to E3, is what I'm understanding from the reportings. But yes, E3 is this week, and I'm very excited. I will be doing full coverage of that. So expect, if this news thing continues on to next week, that this will be jam-packed of what was announced at E3, because I will be watching constantly to make sure I see what will be coming out this next year. If I know that people that have big conferences are EA, Bethesda, Microsoft, Ubisoft, and Sony. Ubisoft. Nintendo has opted out for these this year, apparently, which is interesting, but not a overall big surprise. Nintendo does what Nintendo does. The one I'm really excited about is Bethesda. They are on June 12th, so that would be Sunday. That's conference time is 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be very excited to see that. To see what Bethesda is working on. If it's just this Wolfenstein and Evil Within, of course, there's rumors they're working on the next Elder Scrolls or something along that lines. People have even said Skyrim, the Elder Scrolls Remastered, but no one knows. All that's rumors, which a lot of this stuff is rumors. But Ubisoft also has theirs. We'll see. I'm assuming we'll see Watch Dogs 2 footage, stuff like that. EA doing whatever EA does, and Sony doing whatever they do. as well as Microsoft, each respectable in their own right of what they do, but it will we'll see what happens. I'm excited for it. I will try my best to get watch every single conference and report to you guys what is going on, as well as tomorrow, or I guess it would be today, Sunday. This is a Sunday news. Sunday, I am recording this at 10 o'clock on Saturday. But tomorrow, today, Sunday, there is a Battlefield 1 event going on, featuring a lot of YouTubers that I follow, Neves Gaming, Jack Frags, Matimio, those kind of guys, is going on today. It's a live stream event hosted by DICE. They flew all those guys out to LA, and they're playing it's the first 64 match on Battlefield 1. I believe it's like 4 hours, so it's an insanely long amount of time that they are planning on previewing this. So that's very exciting, very, very exciting. I will be tuning into that to see, as I imagine a lot of people will, to see the Battlefield 1, what it looks like, what the gameplay looks like, what the classes look like, all that good stuff. And that is it for the big bulk of news I have for this week. Seemed like a lot more on my paper, but that is what's happened this week that I've been able to scrounge up. And now we reach an interesting part of the segment, as this is the beta test of the news channel or news series. I am still toying with this idea, so bear with me. I am bearing with a personal note, a personal power mushroom, if you will. A story that I feel relates to video games but is not quite newsworthy, but I feel I want to talk about. And that's what this is. So this is just purely personal, and I don't want to get political or anything. But the story I have is that Clinton has won the Republican primary. If you're not from America, you don't. I'm sure you understand, but it's not as big a deal. But it is. Hillary Clinton has always been at the spear front of the war on video games, as has been so aptly named. That just means that she is very adamant against them, is very adamant against their existence, is pro heavy censorship, pro heavier rating systems to keep the higher tier rated games out of the hands of almost everyone, from what I've understood. I'm not saying pro or con against Hillary Clinton on whatever her other policies are. That is not my place to make decisions for you or anything like that. I'm not making a statement in any sense of the way or form. I am just saying that she has won the Republican primary. She is very adamant against video games, the industry that I am now a part of. She's very adamant against that. It does not like them, does not hate them, and like I said, it's at the spear front. She is not just somebody that signed her name to a piece of paper. She has actively been against them. That being said, I have not looked into the Democratic nominee, Donald Trump. I've not looked into any of his policy regarding that. That is my fault. I need to look into that. But this is, I'm just reporting this because this pertains to all of you. Because if you're watching this, I imagine you are a big fan of video games or just like video games, whatever. It needs to be said that is her policy. And if you watch CNN like I do every day, they really don't report on that. So it might even be an issue that you're not even aware of. And that's a problem with our mass media and our election style here in America. We all have it. But I felt the need to have to get this out. That's why we're doing it here in the personal power-up mushroom segment of it being a personal thing. This is not saying anything pro or con against Hillary, Donald Trump, Bernie Sanders, Ben Carson, whoever you want to win. I do not care. It is your right and choice to pick that. I am just reporting that this is what is happening. This is what her stance are. You might not have known it. Take it into consideration is all I'm asking you. Look at all the facts before you judge anything. But we will move on from that. So that is the Sunday News Report, or Sunday News Mailroom, something. I haven't quite come up with the title for all of this, or even, thought of what I'm going to do in the background. I might just do like I'm doing now and have just some stock footage, or I might just do like a podcast and put like a generic picture and treat this like a podcast of kind of like it is. But I am expecting and hoping that you guys will give me as much feedback as you can. Do you want this Sunday news thing? Do you think it's a good idea? What do you think for the video wise? Do you think that we should have a graphic at the beginning like welcome to Justin's news channel, dun, 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 dun. Whatever you guys think, give me your feedback. I'd love to hear from it. But this is just the beta version. This is just something I wanted to put together to get it out here on Sunday to see what you guys are feeling, because obviously I'll do it if I really want to, but I want to cater to my audience, and this is what my catering to my audience is. The gameplay is a little more me playing and giving my personal opinion, but this is a little more catering to you guys. So yeah, if you can please leave a comment down in the box, like and subscribe if you're new here. I'd really appreciate it immensely. But as always, please have a great day, night, morning, whatever, and always have a great one.